Since the Kansas City Southern introduced the Retro Bell paint scheme in the 2000s, the amount of locomotives still sporting the Battleship Gray paint scheme has dwindled. What once was a fleet of several hundred active Gray units is now just a handful of KCS AC-44s, a single SD-40, and a few 4-axle Jeep locomotives. Even well before the formation of CPKC, the Grays had become a high priority for rail fans to document. The Meridian Speedway has seen plenty of Gray motors leading freight trains over the past few months, including this 267 splitting downtown Ruston. In September of 2024, a friend at CPKC gave us a heads up that KCS number 2033 had been assigned to local train LL49. On a beautiful Saturday morning, we'd pack the camera equipment up in the Tacoma and head west to intercept the Bossier turn. In Doyline, we find our gray Jeep about to pick up some cars from the interchange that leads into the Camp Minden National Guard base. The 4 Jeep locomotives assigned to the local have just detached from the rest of the train to drop off the inbound cars. 2033 will advance a short distance to allow for the conductor on the ground to flip the switch for the shove move back into the interchange. Within the secured site of the National Guard base, the East Camden and Highland is in charge of switching services to the grounds. The EACH has the capabilities to store 2,800 rail cars, but it's mainly known for its sister operation in East Camden, Arkansas, which we documented in 2020. This is just one of multiple stops for the LL49 today. Once making its drops and coupling to the outbound cars, 2033 and its trio of bells in tow will connect back with the rest of the train and make way for its next stop in Sibley. The local has arrived in the Sibley. This local is in charge of interchange operations with both of the Louisiana Southern Railroad's connecting points along the Vicksburg subdivision. This is the first of the two. The Bossier turn covers all industries between Bossier City and Arcadia. A common practice by the crews is to make all of their drops as they work eastward, and once they make their way back to Bossier City, they'll grab all of the outbounds at each stop. We see this in effect here, as the cut of tank cars will be dropped off and the power will simply reattach to the train before continuing east. These tanks are bound for the AeroPress Corporation's plant just north of the interchange. AeroPress produces various chemicals across the United States, and its site in Sibley produces propane. The Louisiana Southern is in charge of the rail service for the plant. KCS 2033 is an EMD GP38-2 locomotive that was built in May of 1977. Originally constructed to serve the TP and W, this Jeep would see its early years of service throughout the states of Illinois and Indiana. Eventually, it would be folded into the iconic Santa Fe when it took over the humble TP and W operations. During its tenure at the ATSF, 2033, or then the 2371, would be one of many locomotives painted in the Kodachrome red and yellow paint scheme, in anticipation of the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe mega merger. As many of you already know, that merger would be shot down to the shock of the entire country. While it would never serve what would have been one of the most influential mega mergers in the industry's history, 2033 would find itself involved in another one many years later. To keep up with the power demand, the Kansas City Southern would buy many Jeeps secondhand from various roads, including the 2033. After many years of faithfully serving various local service and yard jobs across the KCS, April of 2023 would bring the formation of CPKC. Like all of the other KCS and CP locomotives, it would be folded under the new flag. With the new railroad rolling out new CPKC corporate painted locomotives at a slow pace currently, it seems that the 2033 has a decent amount of time left in its gray coat of paint. Only time will tell though, so be sure to document these as much as you can. The LL49 has just made its drop and is about to reattach to its train. Once this is complete, the local will have a clear indication from dispatch to advance on to the next stop in Gibsland. In Gibsland, the main line will belong to our local as it is dropping off the rest of the freight cars here in town. We see LL49 slowly approaching as it ducks under the Sparta Street Bridge. Gibsland is the site of the interchange between CPKC and the Louisiana Northwest Short Line, as well as the second interchange for the Louisiana Southern. We see one of the crewmen about to disembark to begin lining the switches to allow for a continuous shove move back into the track 301 or 302. With the entire train clear, the conductor will flip the switch to guide the train off of the main line to make the drop before climbing aboard the rear boxcar to spot the move. Gibsland is the place to be if you enjoy watching these types of interchange operations. On a daily basis, you can witness this local making drops or pickups, and typically Watco isn't far behind. You'll find the L&W working this interchange on Thursdays as well. All of these boxcars are empty. Later today, the LAS will come into town to bring these empties southward to the small town of Hodge. They'll eventually be brought back north with loaded product from the massive West Rock paper mill. I highly encourage you to check out our recent videos of the LAS and also the L&W to see the other perspective of this very busy interchange. With Watco's cars set into position and tied down, half of the LL49's job is complete. Today there is nothing to be dropped or picked up from Arcadia, so our train will begin to work its way back to Bossier. Once back on the main line and the switches are properly lined, our quartet of Jeep locomotives will head west to the other side of the interchange to make its first pickups.
Don't see them gray goats much no more.
Not much anymore.
Y'all stay cool.
All right, take it easy. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this video following this gray Jeep in action. I believe there are only 6 of these 4-axle locomotives left in this scheme, so it was definitely a Saturday morning well spent. Until the next time, my friends, I'll be seeing you somewhere out there along the rails, and as always, thanks for watching.